Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Ukraine war is still going on after 5 years, and then now Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan has created a scare among the people, and especially in the Taiwanese. And the live fire military exercises are in fact a precursor to a full-fledged possible attack. It may not happen immediately, but the fact that this time a live missile went so far as to go in the economic zone, exclusive economic zone of Japan, has sent shivers down the spine of Taiwan. And Taiwan knows that it has to be prepared for war any day, any time. So what does it do? It's a pygmy as compared to China. And the US port is dependable to a great extent. But then, US port was there in 1949 as well, 48, when Chiang Kai-shek had to flee Peking at that time, now called Beijing, before the forces of Mao Zedong and Zhou Enlai. So, this aggressive and unprecedented military exercise near Taiwan, which started on August 4 and is possibly going to continue till August 15, is making Taiwan think of the new ways and means to counter the attack. In case there is a full-fledged attack, what does it do? And we know that as the long-range live fire drills begin, with the Chinese Eastern Theater Command firing several ballistic missiles. And Taiwan has accepted that it was preparing for war without seeking war. So what is the strategy it has done? And when I was talking to the military strategists, I was really impressed by the doctrine that has been propounded by Taiwan to protect itself in case of a real attack. And this is called porcupine doctrine. Actually, this was prepared in 2008 by the US Naval War College research professor William Murray. And I was talking to William Murray the other day, and he told me that this is an ideal doctrine and a strategy which can be adopted by a comparatively weaker country to counter the strongest possible country. And I think the new CDS, when and he is appointed, until that time, the chief should combine and think of the same strategy as far as China is concerned. This is a strategy of a systemic warfare focused on fortifying a comparatively weak country's defense to exploit the enemy's weakness rather than take on the strengths of the enemy. It is also about building defenses that will ensure that Taiwan could be attacked and damaged, but not defeated, at least without unacceptable high cost and risk. And as a matter of fact, this strategy, now called porcupine doctrine, was adopted by Stalin in Second World War when fighting Hitler. The scorched earth policy was practically this. The enemy was going hungry. They were getting the land all right, but it was a scorched earth. There was nothing. They had nothing to eat, nothing to drink, nothing to support life. And then Dr. John Leone, another great strategist, and I have known Leone for years together now. He is in the defense studies in the Department of King's College London. And he identifies 3 defense layers in the porcupine approach. Now these are very delicate layers. And I had discussed these layers with the Indian defense people some time back. The outer layer is about the intelligence and recce to ensure defense forces are fully prepared. As a matter of fact, the intelligence is the most important thing, and so is the recce services. Unfortunately, for India, it's not very strong in getting reconnaissance done. Behind this comes plans for the guerrilla warfare at sea with aerial support from sophisticated aircraft which can be provided by USA. The innermost layer relies on the geography and the demography of the island. The ultimate objective of this doctrine is the survival and assimilation of an aerial offensive well enough to organize a wall of fire that will prevent the Chinese army from successfully invading. So if there's a wall of fire, if there's a defensive human wall and armament wall around the island, a perimeter of the island, the enemy will not be able to penetrate. And then you are attacking them with a very sophisticated fighters like F-35. And they would have to compete with the Chinese ones, the stealth bombers, which China has developed very well. Now, while the outer surveillance layer would work to prevent a surprise attack, and that's the biggest strength of the Chinese. They attack in a way that you least expect. They are all milk and honey, and all of a sudden, zillions of the soldiers invade. And the second problem is, it makes it difficult for China to land its troops on the island in the face of the guerrilla campaign at sea, using agile, missile armed small ships, supported by helicopters and missile launchers. It is a sort of a guerrilla warfare at sea from sea. They are attacking with the missiles. Shoulder rocket launchers are used even. Missile launchers are there. And they are small boats. They need not be huge warships. They just attack, run away, attack another place, run away, attack the third place. The agility, the movement, the mobility is the greatest step. And in this thing, the Maratha warfare against the Mughals, perfected by Shivaji Maratha, Shambharao, Shivarao, and others, is ideal. As a matter of fact, again, I would say, India can assimilate the same thing, adopt the same thing, refine the same thing, and use it against China as and when needed. Now, even if the Chinese boots are on the Taiwanese ground, the biggest strength of Taiwan is going to be its geography, its topography, an urbanized environment that would give defenders an advantage when it comes to hampering the progress of the invasion. Now, this is a great strength because this was the strength of Pakistan even when the Kargil was invaded. The Kargil war took place with Musharraf thinking that they are at a height and they can beat India. And India suffered a loss of human life a lot because of that. The topography, the geography is a major factor. Let's not deny it. And if you can use the topography to your benefit in a sensible manner, then of course it can be a great aid to help you conquer or save yourself. Basically what happens, that it is a symmetric system of defense. The normal system of defense is not this. This is out of the normal. But then, to fight out of the normal situations, when an enemy as strong as China invades, as I said, is a conflict between the elephant and the ant. The elephant can crush the ant, but if the ant is agile as it can go into the ear of the elephant, kill it. In 2021, Taiwan Ministry of National Defense had a review. It is called Quadrennial Defense Review. And then they define a symmetric system of defense, which is the base of the porcupine strategy. And this says small, numerous, smart, stealth, mobile, hard to detect, and countered units. Small, numerous, innumerable, 2 people, 3 people, 1 small boat, another raft, but very quietly, mobile like anything, hard to detect. So if we are hard to detect, they cannot be countered. And they are associated with innovative tactics and use of the weapons. So this, according to the Taiwan's former Chief of General Staff, Admiral Lee Hee-ming, he says that these systems are a large number of small things. But when a large number of small things combine, it becomes huge. The Texas National Security Review is all support for this porcupine technology, and they note that among Taiwan's current and yet to be delivered military systems, the mine layer ship, the Harpoon Coastal Defense Cruise Missile, the Stinger Man Portable Air Defense Missile, and possibly the missile corvette can be considered small things, and they can be fielded in large number. But when, for example, Stinger missiles comes, a Harpoon Coastal Defense Missile is there, and they are in a large number, one person using the shoulder rocket launcher with a Stinger missile can create havoc. A huge ship is coming, a destroyer is coming, and one missile at the right spot hitting can destroy the destroyer. And then, there also means efforts to build a multi-layered maritime strike power. Now, here is the most important thing. Taiwan is an island. So it has to think in the terms of the naval defense and naval attack. So what they recommend in the porcupine technology is building a multi-layered maritime strike power using coastal mobile anti-ship missiles, light and rapid maritime force, and advanced naval mines. And even kamikaze aircraft are now, drones are there, so kamikaze drones can be used. And this would be apart from offensive and defensive technology of electronic warfare and cyber warfare, as well as multifunctional unmanned system for surveillance and strike. I referred to that already, the drones. Now, these asymmetric capabilities will be aimed at striking the operational center of gravity and key models of the enemy. The nodal points, attack them. And when the nodal point is attacked, then the result is confusion. And a confused army, howsoever large and humongous it may be, cannot face an organized small group. As a matter of fact, what India did in this case in Bangladesh war, the Fourth Corps created a brigade out of nothing. There was no brigade. It was a battalion. And the Pakistanis were under pressure. It's a brigade. I'm going to write an article on that, and that will be published possibly tomorrow or day after. But then this brigade is a part of the porcupine technology, mislead people, confuse them. And the result will be the geographical advantage of the Taiwan island will be tapped to shape the favorable conditions. And what would happen? This will disrupt the operational tempo of the enemy, that's China, frustrate their attempts, and make them fail. Now, Taiwan underlined its shift to a symmetric approach by adopting in 2018 ODC. They formed the concept of ODC. ODC is overall defense concept. It was developed and introduced by Admiral Lee. And Admiral Lee said that ODC in Taiwan's current strategy for dealing with a potential Chinese invasion is a source-constrained environment. But it uses natural advantage, civilian infrastructure, and asymmetric warfare capabilities. And these capabilities are cost-effective, easy to maintain, and numerous to disperse to the strategic points. It must be said that Taiwan has to sustain its capability beyond the first scale phase of the full-scale war. That's the first thing. Mobility, concealment, camouflage, deception, electronic jamming, operational redundancy, rapid repair, blast mitigation. But victory would be, in the event of a war, foiling PLA's mission of successfully invading and exerting political control over Taiwan. And this strategy is needed, basically. China enjoys overall military superiority over Taiwan. You can't deny it. It has built far more accurate and precise weapons to target Taiwan. And the US-China Economic Security Review noted that the scale of Chinese nuclear power is the first strategy of limited nuclear power use. They can use it. So they are likely to set a milestone to invade Taiwan. But would it be easy? Missile strikes, cyber attacks, air and naval blockade aside, undertaking a full-scale invasion of Taiwan with the attendant risk of anti-ship and anti-air attack could present a great challenge to China. And now PLA is estimated to have an air and naval resources to carry out and deploy citizens. However, it will have to first select and secure a suitable beachhead from among the handful that are available. With a small and agile weapon system, Taiwan can turn the coastline into a killing zone that would deny China a walkover, and in the meantime then the allies led by US can come in. Any near-term PLA invasion would be a high-risk option in that case. And the operation would rely on success of PLA, more developed cyber attack, missile strike, and blockade capabilities to efficiently degrade and isolate or defeat Taiwan. But Taiwan insists on maintaining a balance, and you have to train people how to flee and to hide and win. And this porcupine technology and strategy is going to enable Taiwan take a stand successfully against China. Thank you.